Hello, this is Roger from Coachapreneur.com, the best place to learn how to create an online business around your passion so you can live your best life. By the end of this video, you'll know the basic fundamentals on how to build a profitable online business while working full-time without burning out. Perhaps you are watching this because you want to stop the daily grind of the 9 to 5 which consumes all of your time, not leaving any time for you to live your life and enjoy it. Except for, of course, the 2 to 4 weeks a year we get for holidays. Perhaps you want to have the freedom to travel, spend more time with your friends or family, or perhaps you've even been working for some time now and you've realized you're in the same place financially as you were 5 or 10 years ago. Then this is definitely the video for you. There's no doubt about it, having more time and more money gives you options and freedom to follow your passion and find your true purpose in this life. It can be a huge struggle to start any kind of business. It requires hard work, a learning curve, commitment, and patience. But let's put that in perspective for a moment. Many of you, like me, spent 3 to 10 years at college or university accumulating thousands of dollars in debt to get a certificate which didn't necessarily prepare or qualify you for a job. Then when you do get a job, it's highly competitive, requires long hours or further study to climb the ladder. And after all that, 10, 30 or 50 years later on, you're still very poor on time, likely unfulfilled, lonely, stressed, and maybe even sick. There is more and more research nowadays indicating that the best predictor to a happy, healthy, and satisfied person in their 80s is not what they did in life, not the things they bought, but how they felt throughout their lifetime. So, if you feel trapped, undervalued, bitter, or maybe overworked in your job, we know now that that's not good for your health long term, nor is it good for your relationships. And without your health, you have nothing. Before I started a successful online business, I was at university for over 9 years working 60 to 80-hour weeks to get degrees and accolades in the academic world for very little monetary gain, because that was the culture. By the end of it, I developed a stress-related autoimmune disease, and there was no jobs without moving overseas. I was broke and in debt. I had to find a new way of living, as that old way was no way to live. We also know that the 9 to 5 model wasn't created by scientists in a lab saying, for most of the population, 40 hours a week is good for their health. It was created by Henry Ford in the late 19th century to serve the manufacturing industry. Fast forward almost 200 years, it's quite clear that 70% of the population suffer from stress-related physical and mental illnesses, which in some way or another was correlated to their job. Living expenses have increased over 200% over the last 20 years, but incomes have not. It's also predicted that over 50% of jobs will be replaced with AI by the year 2040. The traditional economy is subject to massive decline and layoffs with national disasters, recessions, outbreaks, or new kinds of diseases, whereas the digital economy usually thrives in that time depending on the product or service you offer, because people are indoors on their phones. Keep in mind, the generation before us didn't have access to any of these options, because before the internet, the only way to be a business owner was to invest tens of thousands of dollars or more into a brick and mortar business. Luckily, nowadays, with the internet, we can build a profitable online business with just a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection in the comfort of your own home. Or really anywhere in the world with much lower barriers to entry, both time and money. All you need is just a little knowledge and the right mindset. So if any of this is resonating with you, right now is the perfect time to make the transition to the digital economy. Yes, it requires you to learn some new skills, but you don't need a degree in computer science, nor do you need to spend 20k plus in getting a piece of paper. You will be your own boss, you will call the shots, you will build your dreams and not your employers. Okay, so before you go off and start creating your business online, here are 6 quick tips to help you avoid making the same mistakes that I made. Number 1, without your health, you have nothing. Many gurus out there will say work harder than everyone else to be successful. Actually, this is the 19th century thinking which got us into this mess to begin with. The only way to have success in a job is to either work harder, longer, or get more skills to either be promoted or get a higher paying job somewhere else. But the reality is, the longer hours you work, the more fatigued you'll get and the quicker you'll get sick because it has an accumulative effect. An online business doesn't have to be like that. Yes, it requires work to set up, but if you choose the right business model from the outset and you are disciplined every day to only focus on the most important tasks, it can mostly or even entirely be automated. So you can get more sleep, enjoy nature more, spend time with your kids, and in general have a better quality of life. Generally speaking, the happier you are, the healthier you are, because it's easier to find the motivation to eat well. It's easier to exercise, to build solid relationships, and sleep well. So your number one goal in building an online business should always be to prioritize your health. A good analogy I heard recently was, if you want to drive a Ferrari, then treat your body like a Ferrari. Not that we all want Ferraris. So this brings me to my next tip. Your time is the most valuable asset you have. We all have the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yet, why are there insanely wealthy people out there which earn way more than the majority of people's entire wage in less than a month or even a week or even the same day? Your time and your health are in what's called in statistics mutually inclusive. This means they cannot exist without each other, and they also impact each other. If you overextend your time, you reduce your health. If you have reduced health, you have little time for work or anything else for that matter. Additionally, in the beginning of this journey, while you're working full time, you're most likely going to be time poor because 8 to 9 of your waking hours are spent at your job. Probably another hour or more getting ready, commuting, and unwinding at the end of the day. So let's say 10 to 12 hours of your day is gone and you'll never ever get that back again. And the reality is, it's one of the reasons why many people don't take the leap from the old 19th century economy to the new 21st century economy. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad at all, because when I first heard that, I felt pretty crushed. But then someone said, you can never get your time back, but you can always get your money back, and I'll explain that further. At first, I was like, how? Time is money. Not true. This is another 19th century thought. Otherwise, we wouldn't live in a time where 90% of the world's wealth is with 1 to 2% of the population. They understand that time is their most valuable asset, and it is depreciating every single second. What they choose to do with it dictates their future. Actually, they know that value is money. The more value they put into the marketplace, the more money they make. You might say that $30 per hour is good money. You might say that $300 per hour is good money. But for the wealthy, they think differently. They work for free on strategic projects that they are passionate about and would say stuff like, we did a 1K day today, we did a 10K day today, we did a 100K day today, and so forth. So ensure you believe this, that money is tied to the value provided, not your time. And I know you have more value to give than what your boss values your time as. It doesn't matter what your past is. Okay, if you only have weekends and evenings to work on your business, you'll need to get good at time management. Here are some micro tips to help. Okay, the first micro tip is to prioritize good quality sleep. Do everything within your power to get 6 to 8 hours sound sleep every night and don't compromise. When you feel rested, it's much easier to live life from a place of inspiration, not desperation. And that's when the magic happens. Okay, the second micro tip for managing your time is, what do you have to give up to get what you want? I mean, your days are already been full up until this point, so something needs to make room for you to operate your business. Some people really want, and they have a relentless pursuit to live a balanced life. And they don't want to compromise that because it's comfortable. And you can live a reasonable life that way, but not a great life in living in pursuit of your passion. Because to build a business does take a certain level of sacrifice in the beginning, but that's because it's also the most rewarding thing. You need to make room for it in your schedule. So what can you give up initially to build this business? For me, that was often socializing. There's a time and place for socializing, of course, but if you use that time to complain about your job or complain about other people or gossip, or let other people bring you down with whatever is going on in their lives, this is very counterproductive and messes with how you feel. And remember, how you feel is more important to your health and wellness than what you do. This also goes for news, TV shows, and movies. If you have energy to watch TV show, it doesn't take that much more to watch a video on how to build a business online. Okay, the last micro point for managing your time is to use your willpower for good. Create a schedule every day so you can maximize the time in the evening, morning, weekend to work on your business. I know after a big shift, you may feel drained to then work on your business, and that's because we only have so much willpower or motivation in a day. If we have a particularly demanding job, it uses it all up. Perhaps all you can do is veg out on the couch. In this case, what I would say is to schedule some kind of self-care, like exercise in the morning, and then work on your business before you go to work. Spend the limited willpower you have first thing in the morning on the most important thing in your life, which for most is starting an online business which will give them the lifestyle you want, and it's a great way to accelerate your business growth by leveraging your willpower. Follow the ebbs and flow of it. Alright, we got a bit sidetracked there, so let's head back to the main 6 tips. We're up to number 3. The third one is optimize your lifestyle for energy. When people are really fatigued after a 9-to-5 workday, it's a combination of accumulated mental fatigue and stress, but also their lifestyle choices. When you're stressed out, you're always, in a way, forced to live a life of quick convenience and cheap thrills, which unfortunately in this day and age means turning to processed foods and refined carbs for comfort and a quick fix in between tasks. Unfortunately, this type of eating saps you from your energy, which is very counterproductive. So a healthy whole food diet and daily exercise is important to maximize energy. Remember, a healthy lifestyle is not about what you do today that counts, it's about what you do daily that counts. Consistency is key in building great health and wealth. If you do that, you'll end up with more energy to work on your business. Exercising gives you more time because you have more energy. For a long time, I was having a sandwich, a burger or pasta for most meals, and then pretty much the next 2 hours I was sleepy and quite unproductive. When I changed my eating to a low-carb meal, I was much more alert for longer. There is a lot of evidence nowadays to show that the traditional food pyramid that many of us grew up on should actually be turned upside down for good health. Once you build these foundational habits and practice them daily, you will start noticing your body adapting to the new routine, creating energy when you need it. Also, your thoughts will dictate your energy. If you are having negative thoughts all the time about work, certain people, yourself, etc., it will drain you of all your energy and eventually your health. Train your mind to be more positive by focusing your attention on positive things. Things to be grateful for, things to appreciate. Okay, so the fourth tip is focus your attention because it's the only thing that matters. In most jobs, you get paid to come to work till a certain time and then go home. Your paycheck isn't based on your results. Sometimes it is, like commission and whatnot, but in most cases it's not. You could be lazy, you could mess around, you could be bored, go out, extend your lunch break. Basically, you're just waiting around for the 5 p.m. clock to ring. That's a very common sign if you don't like your job. But when you start a business, that kind of habit isn't going to work. You need to be focused and driven to get results, or you won't get results. You'll have no boss to set deadlines. You are the boss. You need to learn self-motivation so you can set the deadlines. Every day, your goal is to add value into the marketplace, so there is a transition you have to make. The other thing that saps your attention here, with social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook, and on-demand streaming platforms like YouTube, although they've made our lives more convenient in many ways, you are watching this video after all, studies have shown that they're fragmenting our attention span and we get addicted to the constant scrolling looking for the next hit. The downside to this, now we have an attention span shorter than a goldfish, and we literally get addicted to consuming content. But as an online business owner, you need to create content, and creating content is so much less exciting than consuming, and requires your attention to plan and create consistent, great content that adds value. This can be a tough egg to crack because it means that the time you give to consuming content needs to reduce, but our bodies are chemically addicted to it. It's almost like we need to go to rehab to make that transition into becoming a creator and not a consumer. Distraction is the biggest killer of focus. So the goal is to focus on the right activities that are the most important, that move the needle. So you'll need to learn how to prioritize your tasks so you can work on your business instead of in your business. This means repetitive activities like uploading and queuing content to your social media or website can be outsourced to $4 to $6 per hour in the Philippines, while you're earning $30 per hour at your day job. It would be a waste of the little time you have to be doing it yourself. A lot of people in a job also think that learning how to grow your business from reading blogs and forums is effective, but sadly, not a very effective use of time. Take some money from your job and invest it in a quality training program which is structured and can guide you step by step so you can get there much faster. Because there's thousands of blogs that teach you different things. You have to work smart and not hard. Alright, so the fifth tip, creating a business will always cost money. There's no way around it. Creating a business costs money, whether it's a physical business or an online business. An online business can cost considerably less, but you'll still have expenses like investing in some quality training. Perhaps the subscription to various software to manage your website and newsletter. Advertising costs, perhaps hiring a virtual assistant to help, paying an accountant at tax time. But that's where your job comes in. It's an asset you can use to bankroll these expenses. Instead of getting angry or frustrated about your work situation, shift your perspective about your job to be more positive. Something like, I'm temporarily leveraging this job to financially bankroll the growth of my online business. That way, your time at work is now serving a higher purpose to enable you to build a thriving online business which will fund your lifestyle. This will also reduce emotional strain. So even if you get an angry email at work, if someone treats you without respect, anchor yourself back to this belief and you will help bring peace about your day. So you're being proactive instead of being reactive. Okay, so a business costs money. But the issues that some people face here is that some people live paycheck by paycheck. They're spending all of their money just living month by month, meaning your expenses are equal to or greater than what you earn, and then you run into issues. In this case, you'll need to learn how to do some budgeting to work out what you can cut down on. That may be downgrading your lifestyle a little bit, like getting a smaller place, cutting out coffee, drinking, or smoking, not eating out or ordering in as often. The reality is, if you have no money to invest in your future, then you can't expect much to change. Okay, that brings us to the sixth tip. Business revenue isn't always consistent. In a job, you know how much you earn every month. In business, it will fluctuate day to day, month to month. So, do you just quit your job when you have a month that's equal to your or greater than your income? No, let it run for 5 to 6 months above your income. Also build up a reserve so you don't quit your job and then suddenly your ads stop working or whatever reason, you have some funds to tie you over. Alright, bonus tip. This one's pretty dear to my heart and it's something I believe every digital entrepreneur should practice every day. And that's be committed to personal growth. Perhaps one of the biggest things I've learned on my journey is that with health, wealth and relationships, that they are all intimately intertwined. You are the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you spend most of your time with work colleagues who are very judgmental, pessimistic, overly opinionated, or degrading, it will bring you down. Whether you like it or not, you'll end up subconsciously making similar decisions to them or to spite them. That's in a case when you're really in discord with them and their beliefs. But you see, the same thinking of your past will lead to predictable behavior in the future as well. So to make lasting change, seek out people who have already made the change you're looking for. Simply listening to them or being around them will help you see life through their eyes and have repercussions in your life. Alright, so the last tip, which is a bonus tip, and that is not all online business opportunities are equal. So when you do go into business online, you need to go into it with a plan to leverage a particular business model to enable you to have the desired lifestyle that you're looking for or looking to create. Otherwise, the business may end up dictating your lifestyle because some business models are way more demanding of your time and money than others. So whether you're looking at starting an Amazon e-commerce store like Amazon FBA, or a dropshipping store, or an Amazon publishing store, or an affiliate marketing business, they all have pros and cons that affect your lifestyle. So do your research and find some good educational channels of each. I'll probably have some videos about them in the future as well, to ensure that the lifestyle that you're designing will actually be realizable with that business model. Hopefully these tips have been useful for you. If you want some more help on how to build a business online, I've added a link in the description where you can join my tribe. And in that tribe I share tips and tricks, but I also share the training I took to build a business around my passions, and it truly helped me. In the next video, I'm going to take a deeper dive into the wealth creation mindset. We will look at what modern science has uncovered to live a life of wealth, health, and fulfillment. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can get notified when that video hits. Thanks again for watching. Bye.